Hey everybody, it's Brandy from JoyRebel.com, and we are starting the Warrior series. I'm so excited for everybody who's playing along. What we're going to do is there are several variations of the yoga pose called Warrior or Virabhadrasana, and I really got to thinking about it, and I saw how each pose kind of entailed a spiritual or emotional or mental attribute of what I think of as a warrior. So I just wanted to put together this free little series on my blog to kind of go through each of the poses and break them down and kind of talk about how the pose translates to the internal and how to use it as a tool kind of in your life. And so each week, well, I haven't decided if it's going to be 2 a week or 1 every week. I'm going to deconstruct one of the variations, and then at the end, I'm going to put together a yoga routine kind of encompassing all the variations so you can really get a complete sense in your body of the different poses and how you feel in your body using them. So we are going to get started today. I'm so excited. Thank you again for joining me. And let's get started with Warrior 1 or Virabhadrasana 1. All righty. So we're going to come to our mat. Okay. Now let's start in Tadasana or mountain pose. Feet directly under hips. Shoulders back. You're going to feel all 4 corners of your feet on the mat. Let out a breath. Feel strong and tall in your body. And then we can step back. Either foot, I'm going to use my left foot. Step back, rotating your back foot open and bending your front knee. Now, some things to notice in this pose. In this pose, we actually want our hip pointers, these little doodads right here, pointing forward. So what this may mean for you is that you move your feet more towards the corners of your mat, so you're widening your stance. Or it could mean you move your back toes, not your heel, but your back toes, to be pointing instead of at a 90-degree angle at like a 45-degree angle, okay? So once you kind of have to where your hip pointers are forward, let's stand firm in that pose, and on an inhale, bring our arms up. Sinking into that front knee. Now you'll notice my knee is not further than my ankle. We want to keep that bent knee right over the ankle. We're still feeling all 4 corners of our feet, both feet, including the back foot, firmly into the mat. And just stay here for a minute and feel this pose. Now to come out of this pose, I usually kind of bend my back knee and just bounce up like this. And we can do the other side now. Let's bring our, in my case, my right foot, you can, whichever one, the opposite one, back. And it's about 3 feet. However, everybody has different leg lengths, okay? So we want that back leg to be straight, and however long that is for you, however much space in between your front and back knee that is for you is fine. Bending that front knee, rotating that back foot out, hip pointers in front, inhale your arms up and sink into your front knee. Coming out of that pose, I bend my back knee, kind of bounce up. Let's bring our hands to heart center. One more big deep breath out, and namaste. Okay, so what does that have anything to do with what's going on inside of you? If you'll notice, and you can go ahead and try this a couple times, but once you get comfortable in that pose, once you kind of get your feet where they need to be and your arms up, I think you'll notice you're feeling really grounded and firm. I mean, other than maybe the discomfort of your bent leg, you know, that thigh muscle kind of getting uncomfortable after a while, you could stay in that forever. It's very stable in this pose, and yet you've got your arms lifted up, and so you're reaching at the same time as being very firm and grounded in the earth. You've got a strong core, it's engaged, your center is engaged, and your feet are grounded, and it's just a very strong, secure pose. And I think it makes sense that when you're going through a warrior series, that is the first place you start. That is the first warrior variation, because I think the way it translates to our life is before we can express ourselves authentically, before we can achieve anything, we need to get our foundation where it needs to be. And that can take, as you saw with me, that can take some adjustments. You may have to widen your stance a little bit. You may have to kind of shift around and kind of see, you know, if you need to move your back leg back. And just like in life, to get started on anything, a goal, a dream, a new form of art, anything, I think you kind of need to get really firm in your foundation and get to a secure place so that you can lift off from that secure place. And that is going to take some wobbling sometimes, and it's going to take some trial and error to kind of figure out where your firm foundation is. And I don't think I am alone in that. I certainly have had plenty of times where I've done a lot of wobbling to get to that core and get to that foundation where I thought, you know, I'm really secure here, either secure in myself, secure in my beliefs or my intentions or my goals, so that I can, from that secure, strong, stable starting place, start to lift up. And you'll notice it's after you get your lower half steady that you inhale and bring your arms up. And from there, our next series will be Warrior 2, where we start to learn about removing obstacles and how that pose shows us how to remove obstacles and what that looks like in our life. So I just want to say thank you for coming in the start with me. Again, I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. Like I said, I'm going to be putting it all together. You guys can probably hear my dog outside. Sorry about that. Put it all together into a great little yoga routine for you at the end of the series that's really about embodying your warrior spirit. So thank you again for joining me, and namaste.